Hey sis, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, as you can see from the title, I'm going to be talking about how I lost 20 pounds in 30 days without really cutting out my favorite foods. Now, a little disclaimer before I start this video: just because I said I did it in 30 days does not mean that you should put a time limit on yourself. It does not mean that everybody's time frame is going to be the same. Don't focus on that. Just focus on living a healthier lifestyle and making the change that you need to do in order to get to your goal. Okay, so don't focus on the time frame. Just focus on the changes you are making to a healthier version of you. And also, I want to let you guys know that everything I'm saying I did in moderation. Okay, so even though I didn't cut out my favorite foods, I had it in moderation. So I wasn't eating junk the whole time and still losing weight. Okay, so I just want to get that out the way just so you understand what I mean, so you won't get misled. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump right into this video. So hey guys, I'm K Fit, a certified personal trainer and just an overall self-love, self-growth enthusiast. And I said before in this video, I'm going to be talking about how I lost 20 pounds in 30 days. Now, I have this handy dandy whiteboard. If you know my past two videos, I've been doing something new on this channel where I just write everything out that I'm going to be talking about so you guys can screenshot and just have something to look at while I am talking about it, okay? So let's jump right into this video now. So the first thing I did was I did calorie control without too much restriction. Okay, so I made sure I found a calorie range that allowed me to still eat things I loved while staying in a deficit. So when I say calorie deficit, a lot of people automatically think that means that I have to eat so much under what I'm normally eating, when that's not really the case. Honestly speaking, when most people first start eating healthier, they naturally start to lose a little bit of weight because they're going from eating fast food, fried foods, cakes, junks all day to eating healthier whole foods right away. So that's already naturally going to kind of put you in a slight deficit. So it's not really as hard as you make it seem. I always say though, if you want to be specific, try going 300 to 500 calories below your maintenance. But I did not track my calories like that. I just made sure my plates looked even in proportion, and I had a protein, a carb, and a veggie on the side of each one of my plates. I would not overdo it with the carbs, but I would have carbs maybe one meal each day instead of both meals, or some days I didn't do carbs like that. And if I did do carbs, I focused on like stuff like sweet potatoes or whole grain rice. I try to stay away from, refined carbs and really focus on whole grains and stuff like that. So that's how I set my plates up. And the next thing I want you guys to understand is that it's not about eating less, it's about eating smarter. What I said earlier, I said that a lot of the times we think that we have to be super restrictive, when in reality we're just making healthier changes to our diet. So really, I focused on just making healthier changes instead of being so restrictive with my diet, and I really saw the changes. Like, I went from eating like fast food every single day to literally eating whole foods on my plate, but I still ate 3 meals a day. I wasn't cutting back on that. I wasn't being too restrictive with myself. I saw the best results when I stopped being too restrictive and I started to just do stuff in moderation. 80-20 rule. I know you've heard of it before, where 80% of the time you're doing your big one, you're doing it, and then 20% of the time you can maybe like fall off a little. You might be able to eat a piece of cake, you might be able to eat some chocolate. It's all about balance, because if you're too restrictive on yourself, you're going to like kind of like go crazy and then start binge eating. Trust me, I've been there. I was so restrictive to myself where I was eating so little and I was being super restrictive, and then when I got the chance, I would just binge eat. So it's like I wasn't making any progress. In fact, I was gaining more weight because of how restrictive I was being. So I allowed myself to have stuff in moderation instead of just being so restrictive. I didn't want to battle that mentally, where I felt like I was just not allowing myself to indulge in anything. That's not really a fun way to live. You get what I'm saying? So I kept that mindset. And also, high protein, whole food treats in moderation. See how that goes? High protein, whole foods, and then maybe some treats in moderation. And honestly speaking, once I started eating healthier, I didn't really crave treats and snacks like that. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. And I realized that those cakes and those sugars and all that stuff I was eating was actually making my digestive feel terrible. Like, I couldn't really go to the bathroom, it wouldn't come out. Just being honest. And it was just like a bad feeling. I was always bloated, and once I started eating better, it felt so good for me. Like, literally. And also, like, once I went away from dairy, and a lot of people are lactose, I'm lactose, so once I cut out dairy, honestly, everything felt better for my system. So if you are backed up and you notice that everything you eat kind of like backs you up, try to cut out dairy and see what happens, because a lot of people are lactose and they just don't understand and they don't know that they are. So once I did that, things helped. They also have vegan alternatives. If you do crave cheese or you do crave stuff like chocolate, they have vegan alternatives that don't contain dairy. I'm telling you, like, that was a game changer for me all around. Also, almond milk. I stopped doing regular milk. I went to almond milk, and that helped. And almond milk tastes good. I'm not gonna lie. I don't do the unsweetened one. I don't care. Almond milk tastes good. I don't care what nobody says. Anyways, now we're gonna get into the workout. So strength training 3 to 4 times a week. So I worked out 5 times a week, okay? So I did strength training 3 to 4 times a week. So a regular week for me looked like I was doing, Monday was my legs, glutes, and I was using weights. So a glute workout for me would have been 3 sets of 10, hip thrust, squats, and lunges. So that's 3 sets of 10 of those. And I would end that with an incline walk, maybe 30 to 20 minutes. Then Tuesday, I would do upper body workout. Maybe I would do female push-ups, arm raises with some dumbbells, and then, bent over rows with some dumbbells. And I would end that with maybe a HIIT workout. If I didn't want to do an incline walk, I would do a HIIT workout that day. So HIIT workouts, I have those on my page, but it looks like, let's say we have 3 sets of 10 jumping jacks, burpees, high knees. That's how I ended that workout. Then Wednesday, I would do a leg workout. I would do the same thing I did Monday. Then Thursday, I would do the same thing I did Tuesday. And Friday, it would be a full body workout for me if my body wasn't too sore. But honestly speaking, because I did cardio a lot, my body was like, by Friday, I couldn't really do legs like that. So I would do like an incline walk, but it just depended on how I felt. So I was just making sure that I was training 2, 3, or 4 times a week. As long as it was more than 1 time a week, I was good. So I really wanted to focus on building my leg muscles, and HIIT workouts helped me with that. Incline walking helped me with that, as well as doing basic leg workouts with dumbbells. I have some of those on my page. I'm gonna start posting more of those, but you get the gist of it. Those type of workouts. And honestly speaking, my workouts were not long. I wasn't spending hours at the gym. Actually, let me say, when I first started, I was going to the gym and I was spending hours at the gym. I was burnt out, I was overworked, and then I started working out from home. And it was like coincidental because I started working out from home because my business started doing good, so I didn't really have time to be at the gym all the time. So once I started working out from home, I had to shorten my workouts because I had other stuff to do. And my workouts were like 20 minutes. The workouts I posted on my page were really the workouts I was doing. And it was short, quick, and simple. And I really started seeing the best results like that. So that goes to show you that you don't have to do super duper intense long workouts to get results. Don't worry about when you see these people online doing long workouts. It looks like it's hard. It looks like intimidating. Don't worry about that, because you can still get your results doing the simple, basic movements. Basic movements have been here since the beginning of the time. So of course they're going to get you results. So you don't have to worry about working out for hours on hours, running miles. No, you could do short, simple stuff. And you'll still get the results that are best for you. You're moving your body and you're being healthier. That is the best thing. That's the best thing you could ask for. So I wrote down some information about strength training so you guys can get a good gist of what it does for your body altogether. It builds muscle, and muscle burns fat. Muscle helps you burn more fat, especially while you're in rest mode. A lot of the time people think muscle means super bulky and super aki. I don't think I look super bulky and super aki, and I consider my upper body to be a little bit, I was naturally a little bit aki growing up, so that's just what it is. But I used to lift heavier than I do now, which it doesn't really matter, but I still lift because I'm using a dumbbell that has weight to it, so it doesn't matter how heavy it is, and I still consider myself toned and feminine. So cut that rumor that you think that it's going to make you super duper aki or bulky, because that's just not true. Now, the next thing I added in cardio. I talked about it a little bit just now recently, but I added in cardio with strength training combined, and it was a perfect mixture. Now, disclaimer, just because I said I was doing cardio at the end of every workout does not mean you have to. I know you probably always hear that you don't have to do too much cardio, and that is true. You really don't. That's just what I did because I just liked how it made me feel. It helped with my anxiety, and I just liked it. Like walking on the treadmill, listening to music just helps me calm down. So it's something that I like to do. HIIT workouts, sweating help me calm. So it's something that I like to do for my mental health. You do not have to do it every single day. Now, scientifically, it's best for you to try to add it in 2 to 3 times a week. HIIT workouts or just regular walking on the treadmill, walks outside. You don't have to do anything super duper intense. 20 to 30 minutes of that is just simple and it's straight to the point, or even 10 minutes, but I just did every single day just because it helped me mentally. You do not have to do that. I could have still got these results just doing cardio 2 to 3 times a week, and it was still been good. So don't think that you have to do exactly what I did. So like I said, 30-minute walk on the incline or a 10-minute HIIT workout in moderation. As long as you're doing constant movement. It's all about movements. It doesn't matter how intense the workouts are, just as long as you're moving your body. And also just what feels good for you. Find a form of cardio that you genuinely enjoy doing and just stick to that. A lot of times we're so results based, and that's perfectly fine to be, that we don't realize that it's also about what we like to do genuinely. Like if something's going to be a lifestyle, I really feel like it should be something that we enjoy doing. Like I don't want to do something that I don't enjoy doing. I just don't want to do it. And I used to hate walking on the, doing the Stairmasters. And I used to do that every single day. And I remember I was like, this is miserable. I'm literally miserable. And I used to hate running. I hated all that until I found HIIT style workouts and I found walking on a treadmill. And I was like, I actually like doing this. I actually don't mind walking. I actually enjoy it. I like shorter form cardio workouts because it's straight to the point. I break a sweat and it's like I'm just, I don't know, it does something for me mentally. It helps me. Some people feel that way about resistance strength training. I feel that way about cardio. So it's just based off of what you genuinely enjoy. Find workouts that you enjoy doing. I always say it's good to like test around, like quote unquote date around with your workouts and figure out which one suits and fits you the best. You know, it's not, nobody has to do the same exact thing. Whatever you enjoy doing, even if you like dancing. I actually found that I like dance workouts too. Before I had my weave in, I'm so mad, but I'm gonna get back to it. I was doing dance workouts a lot and it made me sweat a lot, so I kind of stopped because of my hair, but I'm gonna get back on it because I don't care. But dance workouts are the best. I love them too. I love every form of cardio, honestly. You could just figure out what works for you. I'm done blaming. Sorry, y'all. So the next thing and the last thing is your mindset. So don't compare, be consistent, and choose discipline over motivation. Now let me explain everything that means. Don't compare, that's self-explanatory, but I'm gonna explain it too. You know how you scroll on Instagram, right? And you see somebody with a nice body, you're like, oh, I'm gonna save that to my goals. That is nothing wrong with that, right? And I used to do that all the time, and until I realized that that's actually doing more damage to my mental than good. Because for one, almost everything people post has some type of Photoshop to it. That's just what it is. People Photoshop their photos, and if they tell you they don't, they're lying. Like, you know what I mean? People do that to their pictures and their photos all the time, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it is something wrong when we look at that and we think that that should be our ideal goal when we're not even looking at somebody's 100% who they are. You get what I'm saying? That's not even what that person really looks like in person. So why are we trying to, it's like we're trying to live up to a fake cartoon. You get what I'm trying to say? It's like you looking at a cartoon character and saying, oh, that's how I want to look. But that's not a real, that's hand-picked, drawn by a person. You get what I mean? So really go based off of what it would look like on you. Like, honestly, when I set goals on what would look good on you. Like, for example, like, I just want to be healthier. It's okay to have weight goals. Let's say I want to lose weight. That's okay too, but based off of what it's going to look like on you. Don't have goals saying I want to look like this, because trust me, like, that's just going to make you mentally, it's just going to drive you crazy mentally, because if you end up not looking like that person, you're going to be miserable. You're going to feel like you're doing something wrong. So don't do that to yourself. Go based off of yourself and your own goals and like how it's going to look on you and like how you're going to look. You get what I'm trying to say? And just living a healthier lifestyle. Do not stress over that scale, okay? Because like I just said, you know how I said I lost 20 pounds? But honestly, right now, me currently, where I am now, I am probably the same size I was when I was 10 pounds heavier. But look at me. I don't look big, but I gained muscle in my lower half and my upper half. I gained muscle as I aged. I lost this weight when I was like 18. My body changed and it turned into muscle. I gained more muscle. I started eating more protein. I gained more muscle. Muscle weighs more than fat. Just how I said muscle burns fat. It burns fat, but it's going to replace that fat with muscle, and that's what you want. But when you step on that scale, I keep trying to tell people this. When you step on that scale, it might be the same size, or you might be a little bit heavier. But if you look at your results and your inside health is doing good, and you look in the mirror and see that your stomach is flatter, everything looks slimmer. Why would you go based off what that scale says? I want you to really understand that muscle weighs more than fat, okay? So that tone look, that's muscle. You have muscle. Everybody has muscle on their body. Someone can have a big cleavage, a big upper half, and it could just weigh more. That doesn't mean if they're fat. Someone can have a thicker lower half. That's what happened to me. My lower half grew, and I gained the scale went up, but everything else stayed slim. That doesn't mean I'm fat. That just means that my muscle grew. I grew more muscle, and that's normal, especially throughout the year, especially as women, okay? We have curves. That's just how we are set up. Everybody's body is set up differently, and as women, we just naturally we carry fat differently, so it's just different. It's not realistic to have 0% body fat. That's just not realistic. I don't care what anybody says. So just be graceful with yourself and just be realistic, okay? I just want to teach you guys to be realistic with yourself, be realistic with your goals, and really understand what you are even asking for. You get what I mean? Like, what you even really want. You know, like a lot of people want to lose weight, but it's sometimes unrealistic. You get what I mean? So just be realistic with yourself and just know your body, know your genetics, and understand that you could lose weight and turn it into muscle, and the scale could be a little bit more than what it was before, but that does not mean that you gained weight. It just means you have muscle now, you're toned now. You gain leg muscle, you gain arm muscle. That's going to weigh something on your body. The same way if you have a hoodie on the scale, that adds maybe like 0.2 pounds. Adding muscle to your body is going to add a little bit to that scale. It does not matter, okay? You might be a little bit heavier to pick up because you solid with muscle, but that's it. You're not fat, you're not flabby, you're not none of those things, okay? So I hope this video helps whoever needs to hear it. The overall message of the day is to just be confident in it and just understand that this is a process, and honestly just enjoy the process, okay? Because this is a process to a healthier version of you. You're going to be a baddie. You're already a baddie now, but a baddie is going to be when you live a healthier lifestyle, period, okay? Please do not forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.